IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do.
Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. Gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision.
Same, but I just feel like Crawford's ring eye coordination is better, and he has more fire in the body left. He wants it more, in my opinion.
Lennox Lewis explains why he believes Terence Crawford can defeat Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing that the matchup is more about mental sharpness than physical strength. He highlights Crawford's exceptional boxing IQ, precise movement, and adaptability as key advantages. Lewis dismisses size as a decisive factor, stressing that Crawford's tactical mindset and intelligence allow him to neutralize opponents effectively. For this reason, Lewis is confident that Crawford can outthink and outfight Canelo in the ring.
He's got incredible talent, incredible IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do to stay at the top and be at the top. He moves very well. He's a very elusive mover, and his work rate is high.
I won't ask you who's going to win the fight, because I know it's a question you've probably been asked a million times, but I will ask you, do you think this fight goes the distance, or do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
Interesting. Really an interesting fight to look at.
Coach Bernie's breakdown highlights exactly why Terence Crawford is such a dangerous and rare type of fighter. To him, Crawford isn't simply a sharp puncher. He's a technician whose precision and timing transform every strike into a punishing shot that opponents struggle to endure. Bernie points out that while Canelo Alvarez boasts an extraordinary resume, he has yet to encounter someone with Crawford's mix of hand speed, pinpoint accuracy, and natural punching power. When Bernie says Crawford's hands feel like bricks, he's underscoring the raw strength Crawford possesses, even while moving up in weight.
A fight is always highly anticipated, and one this magnitude, you know what I'm saying? I think Canelo is hype too, because they know that Bud brings a different element, and the guys that he's been fighting is now superstars. Bud is a superstar. It's a mega fight. It's an underdog fight, and like I said, I'm sure they anticipate, he has trouble with movers and slick boxers and stuff like that, so they're trying to see how he deals with that. Bud fans is understandable. Canelo got the power, he got the experience, and he's one of the faces of boxing, and so it just breeds anticipation. Want to see somebody do something great, and I think that's what everybody mostly counting on. It's a lot of hate though. A lot of people want to see us lose, and the real ones want to see us win. You know what I mean? But all in all,
the anticipation surrounding this matchup has reached new heights, with fans and analysts eager to witness how Canelo Alvarez, known for his strength and masterful counterpunching, will deal with an opponent like Terence Crawford. Unlike many of Canelo's previous challengers, Crawford brings an elusive, unpredictable, and highly technical style that makes him incredibly difficult to solve. His movement, agility, and tactical brilliance ensure he won't remain stationary or fall into predictable counters. This clash is not only a battle of reputations, but also a true test of contrasting styles, making it the first time in years Canelo faces such a complete challenge.
Well, Bud Crawford just hits hard anyway. He got fucking bricks for hands. You know what I mean? He got baseball mitts. His hands is big as a baseball mitt. So, then he's a sharp puncher. So you got to understand that Canelo hasn't fought a sharp puncher. Them guys wasn't sharp punchers. McGee, Berlanga, the guys, they not sharp punchers. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a sharp, it's a difference with the speed and the velocity that they're coming with. You know what I mean? If you can understand that. The quickness of the punches, the sharpness of the punches. These guys, you can see all their punches coming. You ain't gonna be able to see all Bud punches coming. You ain't gonna be able to see his punches coming, for real.
They have what, like one common opponent, Amir Khan?
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think the difference is? Obviously, you've seen a highlight reel with with Canelo.
Amir Khan, having shared the ring with both fighters at different stages of his career, offers a rare and valuable perspective. While he fully respects Canelo Alvarez's accomplishments and proven skill, Khan is convinced that Terence Crawford simply hungers for this fight more. He emphasizes that Crawford's determination, intensity, and willpower could ultimately become the deciding factors. According to Khan, Crawford remains sharp, energized, and driven, with far more left in his career than Canelo at this point. He notes that while Canelo has achieved greatness, the years of competing at the highest level have left their mark, dulling some of his edge. In contrast, Crawford appears fresher, hungrier, and more mentally locked in than ever before. For Khan, this fight is about more than pure ability. It's about who is willing to sacrifice everything for victory. And in his eyes, that fighter is Crawford.
Great timing, great feints, moves well, whereas Crawford has the same, but I just feel like Crawford's ring eye coordination is better, and he has more fire in the body left. He wants it more, in my opinion. Whereas Canelo, in that last fight against the Cuban guy he fought, he just seems to me that that fire has just gone. Like, he was just getting the win and moving around and enjoying himself, which he can do, because at the end of the day, the guy, he's already cemented his legacy, so he can do that. So yeah, I got Crawford winning that fight.
And when you sparred him, when you were in the same camp with Bomac, what was it like? You have any good stories about sparring him since you were an opponent?
See, when I fought him as a fight, I didn't know what to expect. But then obviously, when I sparred with him, I would try different things to really how would I be able to beat a guy like him? And I was working on different things, and the guy is very tricky. He's a guy that always keeps on adapting your style and also keep getting better and better as the fight goes on. So yeah, he's a very, very good fighter. I do like him because he came to my camp 2-3 times, drove up to spend like 2-3 weeks with me as well. Just give me some advice and be there with me and run with me and train with me. And so yeah, that's why like them little things go a long way for me, and that's why I'll always support him and push him.
Trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards offers a sobering reality check on Canelo Alvarez's preparation. He acknowledges that Canelo's decision to spar Jaron Boots Ennis, an elite, dangerous fighter in his own right, is a smart move, but he stresses that it's ultimately symbolic. Edwards explains that sparring, while valuable, is never the same as an actual fight. Fighters use sparring to test tactics, gain familiarity with certain styles, or even to send subtle messages to future opponents. In Canelo's case, working with Ennis may create the perception that he's ready for Crawford's skill set. However, Edwards cautions that no sparring session can replicate the intensity, atmosphere, or unpredictability of a world championship fight under the bright lights. Crawford's unique abilities cannot be simulated in a controlled gym session. Edwards makes it clear that Canelo's choice to spar Ennis should be viewed as part mental preparation and part public theater. More about optics than any guarantee of victory over Crawford.
And don't do nothing in camp and then go look like $1 million in the fight. That's why fighters spend the kind of money they spend on sparring partners, because getting the look or stimulating the intensity of how a fight is going to be is how you prepare for a fight. And the most important part of camp is sparring. So it didn't make me say that Canelo was going to win the fight, but it did make me say, damn, he's taking this fight serious, and that's a real good look. I respect the fact that he went out and got the best possible sparring he could find for Crawford to win this fight. I even respect when he did it, because if he would have got Boots early in camp, Boots would have probably beat his butt. You know what I mean? When you first come to camp and you're not sharp. So he got him a few weeks in the camp, where maybe, what's how many weeks left for the fight? About 3 weeks left for the fight. This usually your peak time. So he got him about 3 weeks left in the camp so he can handle the work. Because again, you've been up to Philly and you've seen the work. Boots don't have bad days in the gym. He stays in the gym all the time. Yeah. So like, you could just get him off the streets and he'll go 10 or 12 rounds in the gym. He don't have bad days. I'm like, I'm not just bragging. I'm not bragging about a kid that I don't train, or he's not my son. I'm just telling the truth. Like, I haven't seen him have like an off day in the gym in like 10 years. You know how sometimes a guy don't look good and you be like, oh, okay, he's not doing his best. He really don't have them days. You know what I mean?
And the crazy part about it is he does more than 3-minute rounds and never sits down. Like, never.
The symbolism behind Canelo Alvarez sparring Jaron Ennis cannot be overlooked. The move was a calculated attempt to simulate what he expects from Terence Crawford inside the ring. Ennis, much like Crawford, is fast, versatile, and able to switch stances with ease, giving Canelo a taste of similar unpredictability. By stepping in with Ennis, Canelo likely sought to experience the rhythm and versatility Crawford is known for. Yet, as many experts point out, no sparring partner can truly mirror Crawford's unique timing, adaptability, and in-fight adjustments. At best, the experience provides Canelo with confidence and preparation optics, more than a winning blueprint. It signals to fans that he is approaching the Crawford challenge with serious intent.
As Canelo has maybe not had as much experience with that since moving to 168. Usually he's the smaller guy fighting some of the bigger guys. But that's not all this is. This is a message that Canelo is looking to replicate exactly what Terence Crawford has in his arsenal, has in his tool set, because everybody has wanted to see the Boots Ennis versus Terence Crawford fight because it's a stylistic matchup that is very interesting. Both guys fight out of both stances. That's right. Boots will fight out of southpaw and orthodox. Both guys are very good using their defense to create offense. Boots, one of the best at Philly shelling, catch countering, being able to do it out of both stances, has a beautiful check hook out of southpaw. As orthodox fighters throw their left hook, he comes over the top with his. And why would Canelo be looking for someone that could throw a beautiful lead hook and a backhand as a counter punch, rolling with their defense back to their offense? Oh wait, because that's what Terence Bud Crawford does so well. Boots is explosive. He's got great counterpunch timing. He's got good awareness. His feet are good. He can walk you onto punches. He can lead the dance going first, not just looking for his counterpunches, but underrated, I think, in his aggression to lead the exchanges. This is a perfect get for Canelo. And I'm not even trying to play the one side or the other. Canelo fans, Crawford fans, you're going to think whatever you want to think. But the reality is, getting this kind of sparring is a massive deal for him. It's going to give him probably the best look you could get for Terence Bud Crawford outside of sparring Terence Bud Crawford. I can't understate how important even just a couple of days working with Jaron Boots Ennis is going to be for Canelo, just to see a bit of the tempo, a bit of that switching of stance, because let's be honest, there's not many guys that Canelo has fought that have fought out of both stances and done it as fluidly as Boots Ennis or as Bud Crawford will do in their fight.
Another growing concern for Canelo Alvarez is the clear decline in his speed and mobility. Entering his 30s, observers have pointed out that Canelo's footwork has slowed noticeably, raising questions about how he will cope with a fighter as quick and agile as Terence Crawford. Throughout his career, Canelo's success has been built on timing, counterpunching, and his ability to cut off the ring effectively. However, as age and wear set in, doubts about his stamina and ability to maintain sharp movement have become more prominent. If Canelo's legs can't match Crawford's fluid footwork, shifting angles and constant motion, he risks chasing a target he simply can't catch. This creates a serious tactical dilemma. Raw power alone won't matter if he can't consistently position himself to land. Many analysts wonder if Crawford's mobility will expose a critical weakness in Canelo's game.
Oh, back, you can tell. You know, saying his legs, they look slower than usual, and Canelo has always been someone who's always had very slow feet. Even when he was down at 154 pounds. Something that plagued him throughout the course of his career is he's just had very slow feet. You know, like cement sometimes on them. That's one of the weaknesses of Canelo, and obviously now, he's, how old is Canelo now? 35 years old, 34, 35. They were slow in your mid-20s. They're definitely going to be slow now in your mid-30s. Before we follow up on that, just have a look there really, really quickly on screen. Please, if y'all could, hit the like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. It literally takes like 2 seconds. We're only a couple of subs off 26,300. Want to get 30k? Please, if you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, Canelo's always had slow feet. But I think this is the bigger. I think a lot of people are more worried about this now because he's going to be in there. Essentially, he's going to be in there against someone who is really, I mean, it's obviously Crawford's last fight was at 154 pounds, but like, he's really a welterweight. You know, he did look a little bit undersized at 154. He's going to look completely undersized at 168. But the size difference, the size, you know, thing out of the equation, the speed difference is going to be vast because Crawford's always had good feet. He's always had fast feet. And If you think Canelo's feet look slow against someone like William Skull, a big, bulky 168-pounder who, at the end of the day, was just running around the ring, he's going to look even slower against Crawford. And a lot of people are saying, just based upon that training footage, oh, it's now a 50-50 fight, you know, I'm running with Terence Crawford, or that's who I'm going to go with.
Analysts warn that despite Terence Crawford's undeniable skill, stepping up in weight to face a naturally bigger fighter like Canelo Alvarez is a daunting challenge. Canelo has proven himself at higher weight classes, beating champions known for their size, strength, and durability. His experience in these divisions provides him with a comfort level and resilience that Crawford has yet to demonstrate. While Crawford's speed and tactical brilliance remain clear advantages, they will be severely tested against Canelo's raw power and physical presence.
What scares me going into this Terence Crawford fight, these are the guys Canelo's typically fighting. This is his last opponent, William Skull. William Skull is far from a great opponent. When we're talking about sheer size and strength, Canelo is just way more built and used to taking on larger guys and overpowering them. Look at William Skull. This guy is jacked. He's huge, man. And that makes me think, like, if Canelo has been taking punches from guys like this, I'm not saying William Skull in particular, but guys like William Skull, the size of William Skull, and he's been dropping them, stopping them, beating them around the ring, overpowering, over-muscling, just everything, physically demanding over them. That makes me think, man, Terence Crawford, I don't know what, you gonna have to come with some heat, dog. Look at Canelo. This guy is half the size of William Skull. There's nothing cut about him. There's nothing popping out, bulging. There's nothing. Look at this. This is insanity. That's what I'm really like, dude. I don't know. Canelo could go in there and walk through Terence Crawford like a hot knife through butter. That is definitely on the table here. He's gonna have to be really crafty, really savvy, and have to put on some amazing work from the outside. If he tries to sit there and walk through Canelo, he gonna hit a brick wall, dog. If guys built like this ain't walking through Canelo, even when Canelo looks like this, Terence Crawford ain't doing it, man. I gotta be honest.
Regardless of the outcome, this fight has already cemented its place in boxing history. The anticipation is heightened by its streaming on Netflix, giving the event unprecedented global reach. Millions will be watching as two of this era's greatest fighters risk everything in pursuit of victory. This is more than a boxing match. It is a cultural moment. Rarely does a sport deliver a clash where legacy, style, and ambition align so perfectly, making an event that will be remembered for years.
For boxing, UFC, and Netflix, Terence Crawford vs Canelo Alvarez will officially be on September the 13th on Netflix. Now, the reason why this is so interesting is, of course, the UFC TKO recently acquired their new strange boxing model with Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White promoting it, and this actually will be on Netflix. So for some context, if you don't know, the UFC are currently under negotiations with a new TV deal, and the rumours for a very long time were that of Netflix. But it doesn't look like they're going down that route anymore. Or at least it sounded like Netflix wanted a total package where they would get the major UFC fights and the major boxing fights as well. Or potentially they didn't even want the UFC fights and they just wanted a couple of these sort of events. Regardless, Dana White is officially the promoter for it, which I do believe is still bizarre. I still really think that's super bizarre, and the fact that they have quite opposing views in Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White, to be honest. Not in everything, but in how events are run. Dana White doesn't even like stadiums, first and foremost. Turki Al-Sheikh loves making as big of a splash as he possibly can. As fights go, for the casuals, this one is as good as it gets. It really is. Let me know what you think. As always, keep it casual.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for more.